From Washington, NBC News presents Meet the Press with Chris Wallace.
And good morning. Political junkies got an early Christmas present this week. Plenty of new developments to chew over. For the Democrats, the question is what Gary Hart's big surprise does to an already muddied race. While for the Republicans, it's looking more and more like a tough two-man contest. I want to ask you, first of all, about a demonstration that took place today in Moscow, a demonstration in which Soviet security agents...
I haven't noticed it.
Well, let me tell you about it, sir, in which Soviet security agents roughed up Jewish refuseniks and reporters and arrested at least one American journalist.
I don't believe this talk. They usually start the stories, before some big event, just to spoil it a little bit.
Well, Mr. Arbato, sir,
I don't care about them and don't trust you.
We have taken pictures of it, sir, and one of the journalists, a Pulitzer Prize-winning journalist, Peter Arnett of CNN, has reported on his arrest. Are you saying this is all a lie?
Well, I don't know what Mr. Arnett did. I have to ask him. You arrest a lot of people during demonstrations and on a lot of other occasions. But I don't want to discuss it, really. It's not up to the moment, to the importance of real events.
Well, the only reason perhaps it is, sir, is that Mr. Gorbachev comes here to Washington promoting his idea of glasnost, or openness in Soviet society, and some people would say when a few hundred refuseniks can't hold a demonstration without being roughed up, that it raises questions about whether there really is glasnost. This reminds me of the old lawyer's statement, if the facts are against you, argue the law. Back in 1985, when all this was going on, Bud McFarlane was testifying before Congress and saying, yes, indeed, the NSC was covered by the Boland Amendment. And when they'd ask him, what's Oliver North up to, he deliberately misled them and said he's up to nothing.
Chris,
let me just ask you, if it was all legal, if the President and Oliver North and Bud McFarlane could have done it back then, why didn't they do it openly? Why'd they sneak around?
I'm not saying that. And they didn't sneak around as far as the President was concerned.
One last question. What was Premier Zhao drinking during the interview? It looked like very good Chinese beer.
It was a Tsingtao time during the interview, Chris. He knocked back 2 beers. I think that it demonstrated his utter confidence in himself. He is a man who was so much at ease that he was able to talk to me about his personal life, which is virtually unprecedented within the Chinese leadership. We know almost nothing about how they have shaped their own political values over the years, and yet he talked about meeting his wife while fighting the Japanese army, the fact that he had 4 sons and a daughter, and that he wears his necktie and Western suit in an office where others are wearing Mao suits. That's the kind of thing that we've not heard Chinese leaders in the past talk about.
Well, Tom, it seemed to loosen them up. I think we'll have to start serving Chinese beer regularly now on Meet the Press. Senator Biden, one of your heroes is Jack Kennedy, who talked about bearing any price and paying any burden. What do you think about this idea of an American empire in decline?
Well, I think it's exaggerated. I think that that Professor Kennedy states certain truisms, that in fact the relative strength of world powers is changing. I mean, that's obvious. At the end of World War II, there was only one nation left standing in the world, and obviously every other nation was going to increase their relative share, including the defeated nations. It seems to me the issue is not cutting back. The issue is where do we extend from here?
Thanks for watching our YouTube channel. Follow today's top stories and breaking news by downloading the NBC News app.